There was a man named Jack who had a dark and sinister secret. For years, he had been living a double life as a murderer, preying on innocent victims under the cover of darkness. One day, a camera caught him in the act. It all began when a neighbor installed a security camera in his backyard. The camera was meant to catch any intruders, but instead, it captured Jack, standing over the lifeless body of his latest victim. The neighbor was shocked and horrified to see the footage, and immediately alerted the authorities. The police arrived at Jack's house that very night, armed with the footage as evidence. They found him sitting in his living room, seemingly innocent and unsuspecting. But the truth was soon revealed when they showed him the footage. Jack was arrested and charged with multiple counts of murder. The footage made it clear that he was nothing more than a cold-blooded killer who had been getting away with his crimes for far too long. As he sat in his jail cell, Jack realized that he had been caught because of a simple security camera. It was a chilling reminder that there are eyes everywhere, watching our every move. And if you have something to hide, you may not be able to keep it hidden forever.
I was walking down the busy street, minding my own business when I noticed something odd. A man with a camera was walking a few feet behind me, snapping photos and recording me. At first, I thought it might be a coincidence, but as I sped up my pace, he followed suit, never losing me. As I crossed the intersection, a wave of panic washed over me. The guy with the camera wasn't a tourist taking snapshots of the city. He was following me. I took a sharp turn down a side street, hoping to lose him, but he stuck with me, continuing to film me. I could feel beads of sweat form on my forehead as I wondered who this guy was and what he wanted. I tried to act as normal as possible, but every time I turned back to him, he was just staring at me through the camera lens. As I approached my apartment building, the man with the camera started taking photos of the entrance and the building. I couldn't take it anymore. I turned around and asked him what he was doing. He acted like he didn't speak English, but I could tell he understood me. Then something unexpected happened. He took out a piece of paper from his backpack and handed it to me. It was a letter from my estranged father, who had disappeared from my life many years ago. The note said that he had been trying to find me for years and had employed this guy to snap photographs of me so he could see what I looked like. I was shocked and filled with mixed emotions, but mostly I was relieved. It turned out that he wasn't a stalker or a creep. He had just been hired to find me by my father. I took the letter and thanked the man with the camera. As he walked away, I watched as he turned back a few times and waved. I was amazed at the lengths my father had gone to find me, and I couldn't help but feel grateful. From that day on, I tried to reconnect with my father, although the relationship was bumpy at first. Still, I couldn't help but think about that man who followed me for a whole day, documenting my every move so my dad could finally see me. In the late 1800s, a photographer named William H. Mumler gained fame for his portraits that were said to contain images of ghosts and spirits. Mumler claimed that he had stumbled upon a way to capture the deceased through his camera lens, much to the amazement of his clients. One day, a young woman named Mary Todd Lincoln, wife of President Abraham Lincoln, paid Mumler a visit for a portrait session. Mumler captured her photograph and developed it in his studio, but when he handed it to her, she wasn't prepared for what she saw. Looking back at her from the photograph was none other than her deceased husband, Abraham Lincoln. Mumler insisted that he had done nothing out of the ordinary and that he had only captured what was there. However, this incident caused Mumler to become the target of investigations and accusations. It wasn't long before he was arrested and put on trial for fraud. Despite maintaining his innocence, he was found guilty and sentenced to 3 years in prison. After his release from prison, Mumler fell into obscurity with his reputation permanently tarnished. But the incident with Mary Todd Lincoln and her husband's alleged ghost lives on as one of the most unusual and chilling paranormal tales in the history of photography.